Hey everybody, Tall Family Films here. For the longest time, I had trouble getting the big green egg to hold at 225 to 250. And I realized that the key is don't let it heat up because it's much easier to keep it from getting too hot than it is to cool it back down once it is hot. The ceramic holds a lot of heat. So I'm taking a piece of cardboard here and forming it into a circle or a sort of a circle and shoving it down into the bottom of the coals. If you're wondering what this basket is that I have another video on my channel that talks about this kick-ash basket and why you should buy one too. Okay, so now I'm going to fill up the firebox with charcoal. I'm trying to get this to run for about 6 hours. So depending on how long you need it to run for, you may need more charcoal or less, depending on what you're trying to do. So even out the charcoal, it's okay and actually even preferred if you get a little bit of charcoal down inside the cardboard tube that you've built, because we're going to put a fire starter in there. And so it's okay if charcoal's in there, but obviously the fire starters will burn through the charcoal wall pretty quickly. But because we have built a barrier there, it will hold that shape and not allow too much charcoal to burn at one time, which is kind of the key to this whole thing. Is we don't want to light charcoal all over the place. We just want to light charcoal in one place. I'm using fat wood fire starters, but this works with tumbleweed, which I've actually used it with, those tumbleweed style wax starters, all of those things. We just need something to get the fire started. It doesn't matter what type of fire starter you use. So you want to open up the air completely on the top and the bottom. This top is a replacement top that I have that I like a little bit better. And you can see this fire starter works pretty well. So I'm going to put some hickory wood down in here because I need to do some smoking with this particular burn that I'm doing. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes and you can see we have a nice center red fire, but nothing else in the firebox is burning right now, which is exactly what we want. So for this particular cook that I'm doing, I need the place setter. And I'm going to drop the grate on here as well. Alright, and I'm sitting at 0 degrees right now. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes since we closed the lid and we're sitting around 220, which is exactly where we want to be. So since we are hovering around the ideal temperature, we want to go ahead and start closing off the top and the bottom. So this is kind of guesswork, okay? If you own a big green egg, you know that I'm putting about an inch, okay? I'm letting about an inch of air escape the top, and at the bottom I'm going to do about the same. And then we'll just see how this goes. Okay, so it didn't take long for me to realize that this is hotter than I wanted, so I'm going to close off even more than I did, down to maybe a ½ inch, and at the bottom we're going to close that off even more, barely letting a little bit of air in. And we're still at about 250. This is right after I put the ribs in, so I had to have the grill open a little bit more. But if you will kind of burp the egg and sort of let the heat out, that lets the temperature come back down, so then you will pretty quickly know if the fire is still too hot. Just a little trick that I do when I'm trying to bring the temperature down rapidly, opening the lid will kind of bring the temperature down, you know, anywhere from 20 to 50 degrees. Okay, if this video helped you, you could really help me by subscribing to my channel. It really does help me a lot. Thank you very much.